In my entire span of existence, I don't think I've ever seen a Sonic Wave remake in Geometry Dash. I think this level barely has any recreations, and I think that people should do more of them. This is what I would say if we lived in another universe. Bro, this level has over 20 freaking remakes already, and you guys still wanna see more? That's insane. I'm fine with that though, and I accept the challenge of remaking Sonic Wave. Let's see how it goes. It's gameplay making time, and honestly, I have a lot of ideas for that. Since we are in a drop part of the level, I don't wanna remake anything from Sonic Wave other than just the wave, since every drop part on Sonic Wave is made of wave, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, for the gameplay, I actually had a bunch of ideas, as I've already said. I decided to remake some classic wave parts, like the first wave entrance with these two portals. The classic mini wave part, where you have to wave on the floor and the ceiling, and also made this duo, inspired on this Sonic Wave duo part. No reason in particular, I just kinda like the aura that it has. And for the last, I made a spam part that says GG's, and then I added my name in there, just like what Sonic Wave does in its end screen. And honestly, after like 1 hour creating this layout, I ended up really liking the final result. I will probably have to buff that a little in the future, but anyway, now it's time to make decoration, and honestly, I was really excited for that at the beginning because I knew that once I finished one block design, I would be able to copy and paste it around the entire part, and that made me happy. Well, first I started making the structure for the wave, and as you can see, I was totally not trying to copy Auditory Breaker in the slightest, and after spamming a little bit of glow in it and changing some aspects of the structure, I started making some details inspired on the decoration style called tag, where you just place random objects until the block looks like it came from another dimension or something. I don't know exactly how it works, but it looks really cool. But here my problems start, because after making the first, in quotes, bevel of that 9 circles structure, nothing that I did looked good, bro. I started to actually struggle to make good details on this. First, I tried to make a kind of purple structure inside the block with some fading lines, but it just looked lazy and weird, just like me. And then I started working with other types of structure, changed the color of the entire block design to blue, and even added some black glow, but nothing was really working, and I was starting to get frustrated. So I just decided to stop building for now, and be back at it another time.
1 million zillion jillion dillion cotillion times later.
After I came back to this level, the only thing that was in my mind was, it's time to gamble. Now I have 50% of chance of leaving the editor really proud and happy, and 50% of chance of leaving it forever. The first thing I made was, I decided to reduce the glow on that block a little because it was way too bright, and then I decided to add a simple 3D, as you can see here. And after spamming some spikes and other random details, I made the best decision I could have ever made in this level. I decided to use those, in quotes, 9 circles blocks inside this block design, and for some reason they worked really well. They really gave this block a tech vibe that I was talking about earlier, while also making it look even more similar to Sonic Wave itself, and I ended up really liking it personally. Now it's time to make some other block designs, and I will tell you this now. If you are sensitive, stop watching the video right now, because I'm about to commit a crime here. Yes, I really did this, and the worst part is that I will keep it like that. And by the way, absolutely no one noticed I did this when I streamed, so that's a good thing. Well, as you can see here, now I'm streaming, and I absolutely copied and pasted the freak out of this block design around this entire part. And after making a 3D on everything and also some saw blades with some 9 circles effects, as you can see here, I decided that I wanted to make some effects on this part. And stay prepared, because the way I made this effect that you are about to see right now is insane. So, do you remember the first block design I made in this part? Well, I just selected it, rotated it, scaled it up, copy and pasted it just like that, put it in the T3 layer, made some moves, and now, as you can see here, I made these both giant things appear on both sides of the screen. And that looks pretty cool in my opinion. And the fact that I managed to do it in less than 15 minutes, it scares me. But anyways, now I decided to make a little background in this part because I really felt like it needed one. But again, I was lazy, and again I decided to commit another crime in the editor. I simply take this all, scale it up a ton, making it on B4 and no touch, and make it follow the player just like that. And after making a lot of edges in it and also reducing its brightness, I think it unironically turned out to be a pretty cool background. And some people still wonder how I can finish my parts so fast. Well, after doing that amazing background, I decided to do the air deco. First I make some portal decoration, and for that I straight up just steal some of the details from the inside the block designs to put them in the portals just like that. And the worst part is that it looks really cool, so I'm keeping that in the level. Then I decided to make a very random thing that I thought could fit this level for some reason. I basically selected a saw, scaled it down, and then I spammed it around the screen and made them a little bit brighter. And then I made some moves on them, and as you can see, I tried to make some particles using saw objects, and for some reason I liked them, so I'm also keeping them in the level. Talk about experimenting new things, bro. Oh god. Now I decided to just make some very simple and very bright arrows because I thought it would give this level a good contrast, and also I kinda stretched some of them like this in this last duo part because I just thought it would look cool and it would be less repetitive, I guess. After these arrows, we could basically call the air decoration done for now, so I decided to make another effect in this part while I didn't have any ideas of what else to add. I decided to just make the thing that is always with me whenever I need it. I decided to use glow. For this effect right here, I just spammed glow. A lot of glow. Like, look at this, bro. There's so much glow that if you stare this for more than 10 seconds, you could unironically become blind. Well, anyways, it's still made for a really cool effect, as you can see here. The glow just suddenly appears when you enter this portal, and I personally really liked it. Now it's time to remake the very last part, and since it looks really simple in the original level, I will obviously still keep things simple here. The first thing I make is I start spamming some spikes on the floor and on the ceiling of this part with some ground spikes, and also just spam some air deco around it just for it not look that empty. Afterwards, it was time to decorate the giant text structures in this part. This thing that says GG Vitzel. And believe it or not, making this was the hardest part of decorating. Not only this section, but the hardest part of decorating the entire level, because I simply could not make a text that looked good, bro. Problem started when I made the V, and people started telling me that it looked like a Y. But until then it was fine. It clearly looks like a V, so I just ignored it. They were just trying to mess with my head, obviously. But the real problem started when it was time to make the number 2. Bro, I just could not make this thing look like a number 2 at all. I simply could not. I had to spend hours upon hours of work in order to figure out the perfect number 2 for these text, bro. From trying to use slopes to even searching for a number 2 font in other levels. I tried everything, but I was struggling so much. It wasn't even funny. And after so much work and pain, I just decided to give up and leave it like this. And it will stay like this. I don't wanna touch this ever again in my life, so please leave me alone, okay? Anyways, after that, this part was finally finished, and this is how it looks like. Well, you guys decided on the last community post that the next level I would be remaking would be Kyoki, so yeah, I have absolutely no freaking idea of what to do. But I'll try to do my best as always, and I promise I'll manage to cook something up for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.